Okay, let's get this thing going. Hello. We're back for another round. Bit more dev, working on the new Steam game. I honestly, I'm not entirely sure what I'm gonna do today, what the move is. Just make sure my sound's good. Sounds like it, nice. Always love to see it. Yeah, I think probably we're gonna look at some game loop stuff. It's unusual for me to be streaming on a Monday. I usually teach on a Monday in about an hour's time, but I've had to push the lesson back by an hour. So, gonna be doing the stream instead. But yeah, gonna work on some game loop stuff, I imagine. Before we start, of course, I have to do the standard ad read. Tirelands is out on Steam now. If you haven't played it already, please go check it out. It's the first Steam game that we've ever released as a little duo studio, and we're very proud, so we would appreciate any feedback that you got. Now, last time we had set up our system for like chopping stuff down, picking things up, and doing interactions with things, so I figure probably we can continue from there. Let's build out like a central store where we can keep track of resources. We'll try and build out some kind of system for what the different resources are with like scriptable objects, I imagine will be the way to do it. And yeah, we'll just kind of see how it all goes, see where it takes us. Either that or I'll just get completely sidetracked and we'll start building some enemies. We'll see, but let's remind ourselves of where we were. So we had made these little bushes. We've got our player that can walk around and we can sprint and walk normally. We can run up to a little bush and interact with it to pick some berries or leaves as well. These also drop leaves after you've harvested enough berries. And then you can pick the things up and you can throw them. Oh, leaf just clipped through the floor. I think I need to update the prefab, yeah, because the leaves are getting thrown out normally from this one. But not so normally from... Oh, and they clip through the floor when you throw them, look at that. Random. Berries work fine. It's just the leaves. But we'll go ahead and see if we can fix that. What I do want to do is let's use berry bush 1 as our example. I'm going to fix that position for the leaf. Good. I did. 1.5, 1.5. I might even just move them up a little bit higher. Like 1.6. Cool, and then I'm going to go ahead and apply all the overrides there and delete these all from the scene. Because for now, I don't think we need them. What I do want to do is get an idea for how big the player is on screen, because I think I probably want to zoom the camera out a bit more. I'm trying to think about how I want to position everything with all the cameras, because I basically want to have it so that there's a central area with like the core tower effectively. Yeah, I'll tell you what, let's go ahead and do this. Central base. I'm going to reset this. We are going to go ahead and plonk a cylinder in here, which I'm going to call graphics. And I'm actually not going to do that. I'm going to create an empty, which I'm going to call graphics. And then this can be like base, which I'll drag in here. And that way I can keep the graphics container like separate to the scaling and everything for the cylinders and cubes or whatever else it may be that we use to build this thing up. So Let's maybe make this like 0.75. Put 0.75. Yeah, 0.75 on the Y. It's going to get it on the ground. And then I'm going to scale it up to like 4. Maybe 5. Let's make it big. This is going to be like a vat, basically. We'll leave the capsule collider on it for now, I think. Yeah, we'll leave the capsule collider on it for now. I'm gonna duplicate this again, make it like 2 units tall, and maybe 4, and then just bring it up. And we'll maybe do some like fun animation or something with this. What I do need to do, I am actually going to make this taller because I want to have it be the case that there's like a box, 3D object cube, and this is going to be our deposit. So I'll leave it on graphics for now. I'm going to make it 0.75 on Y, 2 on the X, and 1 on Z. And then I can move it half of 0.75 up. And then just bring it forwards so it's sticking out. Maybe we go 1.5. Yeah, something like that. That's cool, and then we can use this as the place where the player drops the items to put into the thing. And yeah, not have to worry too much about the rest, and maybe we can make this like inside some fun dome. Yeah, let's put it inside a little dome because I'm special like that. 3D object sphere. We are going to remove the sphere collider because we want to be able to walk through it. And we'll scale this up. Nice and big. Like 15. Cool. Let's start sticking some materials on stuff. So I'm going to start off with the sphere. Let's actually go ahead and just duplicate the ground material for now. This is going to be our dome. Bang. Now it's invisible. I'm going to make it like a shade of blue. Something like that. Looks kind of glassy. It's going to be transparent. And that way we can bring the alpha like way down, maybe 10, and we can enable rim. Maybe increase the alpha on that a little bit. Maybe make it a bit lighter. Yeah, then it's kind of like a little force field that we got going on here. Nice. Come along smooth. Let's go ahead and create some other bits for the... yeah. How do I want this to look, actually? That's a question. I'm honestly not sure. I think we'll go for like a grey and a red. I'm going to need to disable the sphere so that I can actually get to the Watson-Magignet metal on here. You are going to be opaque. We're not going to have rim enabled. We're going to have the alpha up to full. Why is it lighting like that? Is that just how it plays with cylinders? Because if so, that's not ideal. We got all these weird bands, yeah. Have I got a texture on there or something? don't think so. No, it's got to be some weird bug. I'm gonna delete this one and just make a fresh material. Flat kit, nope, don't need those. I need material, and this is gonna be our tower metal. No shading. There we go, that's better. I think let's go with like a kind of brighter shade. And then I wanted this top bit to be red. Tower peak, let's call it that. Let's go with like a dark orangey red, and I'm also going to give it a rim, which I'm going to make kind of blue, but like a white blue. I don't want it to be large, and I want it to be not very smooth. Something like that. Maybe we have a, yeah, go on. Let's have a height gradient on both of these, actually, I reckon. Let's go 2.75. Gonna give it 0.25 for the height. Oh, actually, you know what? We could probably make this like yellow or something so it looks like it's glowing. Yeah, let's do that. So I'm going to massively up the size. I'm going to make it like 7.5. And then let's have that like, make that local space. Yeah, nice. And then I'm going to steal that colour for the rim light as well, which I'm inevitably going to make smoother. But I'll maybe make it like a little bit closer to white. Yeah. That feels cool to me. And then I'm going to take my metal, stick it on the box, but I'm going to take this power deposit and I'm basically going to make it just a darker shade. Something like that. Yeah. Maybe a hint of blue in there. Whoops. Yeah, cool. So now we have this magical power pylon. And you know what? I don't know if I actually like having the rim enabled on there. The depth is kind of cool. It makes it seem like kind of fancy. But yeah, that's good for me. That's good for me. So this is what we're going to be dumping our stuff in. And then the way that this is actually going to work with the camera is if we'll have two separate Cinemachine cameras, one that will be a player follow and one that will be a what's the word that I'm looking for? Static. That's it. Just a static thing that's looking at the central space. So maybe we go ahead and create our first static virtual camera, which I want to be, this is going to be our base camera. I'm going to create, do I create an empty for my cameras? Sure. Let's go like that. And this one is going to be basically the same as what we've got on the main camera. So, oh well, we want it to be looking at 0, 0. So let's go ahead and just have it look at no, we're going to create an empty, and this is going to be our base camera rig. And we're going to have it look at and follow this, I think. Or at least just look at. Base camera rig, look at. Let's reset this to 0, 0. And then on this, I think we should be able to... body is going to be do nothing. Aim, we want to, if I do hard look at, that's just going to look at it directly, isn't it? But that does then mean that I can go here and like move it around and it's going to stay looking in the right direction. Yeah, cool. What I want to remember how to do, there's some way that I can have it copy the rotation of the target, because I want to be able to rotate this and have it still look in the same direction, but I can't remember how. I think it's probably something in here, like an orbital transposer. Whoop. Yeah, there we go. I was bang on the money. So, what we probably want to do, rather than having just base camera rig, let's go ahead and create a, this is going to be our, yeah, we'll create another empty, which is going to be base camera X or horizontal, because I can never remember the difference between pitch and yaw. Horizontal, and then likewise we'll do base camera vertical as a child of that, and then we can have our base camera target that, because we should be able to go ahead and like change the, nope, apparently I can't just change the Y rotation. Oh, here we go, follow offset. So Y, Z I want to be like negative 25, and then Y we can do like 20. I think that's quite a good angle. And then I don't need this, and I can just have it follow the, yeah, I can just have it follow the base rig again. Wait, no, don't duplicate. Delete, please. Look at and follow. And that way, when I rotate this, yeah, it just rotates with it. And the best part is, because of the way that we set up our player controller, we're still moving relative to the camera. There's no, like, fiddling around with any funny business, which is perfect. I'm going to go ahead and move that box out a little bit because it's too far in for me. Yeah. Cool. I think what we can probably also do with this is just offset the target position, so we're like aiming slightly above it. Yeah, let's maybe put that to 1.5. So we're aiming at the center of this thing. And to be fair, I'm probably going to end up pulling it back even further, like maybe 15 or something, so that we get the full, like a good full range of what we can see around. That feels a bit more how I want it. So then the other part of this is going to be having a secondary camera rig, which is going to be a player follow camera rig. And we can probably actually make this a child of the player. I'm just thinking about how... Do I want it to be a child of the player? I probably do at some point. For now, I think I want it to be global. So I'm going to create an empty, which is going to be player camera rig. And we're going to give this a like a position follow controller or something. So let's create a new C# script called follow transform. And we can have do this nice and simple. Serialized field, private transform, follow transform. We'll have a public void set follow transform. Which will literally just that needs to take a transform follow transform, and we'll say follow transform equals transform. And then in our update method, we'll say if follow transform is not careful, if it's not equal to null, we will say follow transform. No. Transform dot position equals, and I think we could probably do like a vector3 dot lerp. Or maybe do I do transform dot move towards? I swear that's a thing. Maybe not. Either way, we're going to look from our current position to our follow transform dot position at a speed of serialized field private float follow speed times time dot delta time, like so. Nice and easy. So then what we'll do for the player camera, if I just disable the base camera for the time being, the player camera is going to be looking at and following the player camera rig. So great, it's over here. Let's stick our follow transform on that. And I think actually we are going to have this populate itself at runtime, or perhaps we can tag it and have the player controller assign it. Yeah. Let's do some things like that. We'll come back to that in a second. Either way, I want this to be at the same position as my player. So let's say like 2, 2, and then y is going to be 0. And then the player 2 and 2. We can still rotate this. And then let's go ahead and put in the aim let's shrink this down first. Let's maybe go for 10, I think, or maybe 8. Yeah, let's go for 8 for the player. And I think I kind of want to bring the angle down a bit, so I'm going to set this to 17.5. Or maybe even just 15. Yeah. Let's do that. And then we can set up some like target forward. Yep, that's what we want. Maybe by velocity for the heading. No, target forward. Oh, wait, is this going to move with the mouse? Because I'm not going to want it to do that. And then I'll have to go look at the documentation. It is going to move with the mouse. I mean, it's basically working perfectly straight off the bat, not going to lie. Oh, Cinemachine is fantastic. I don't want to control it like that, though. I want to control it with something else. Do I just hard lock to target? Ooh, nope, that's definitely not what I want to do. Transposer? Yes. There we go, 15. What did I have it? Negative 25. Cool. Cool. So now the mouse isn't going to move. And let's just let's go ahead and disable this player pawn for now. I just want to look at it in the inspector or in the game, so I can see kind of how everything is pulling together. So my camera rig, I want to follow my player pawn. Set the follow speed to like 2.5. That way we get a bit of lag. Yeah, let's maybe go a bit higher than that, 5. Cool. And what I wanted to do was figure out how I can get it to look ahead, but I think that's a framing transposer thing. Whoa. 15. Negative 25. Yeah, there we go. And that's going to give us all of our lag in there anyway, isn't it? Oh, where's the frame? Game window guides, there we go. So yeah, we can see the yellow dot moving along. Let's have the look ahead. If I set the look ahead time up to like 1.25, our look ahead is basically nothing. Oh, it's really weird moving around with the high look ahead. Oh, and the camera's also kind of rotating around to follow where we're looking, which is definitely not what I want. I don't want it to rotate at all. So maybe I do just use a transposer. You know, for the time being, let's just use a transposer. That's fine. So it's going to be... Oh yeah, let's make sure that it's still rotating. Yes, good. Good. Player camera is good. Base camera, which is following the base. We want this to be a normal transposer. 20, negative 15, 25 even. That's fine. And then we can create areas in which this takes effect. So I'm going to create underneath the base, I'm going to create a empty, which is going to be active camera activation region. And let's add a be a collider, which will be a trigger. And we're going to go ahead and make this nice and big, so that basically when you cross the threshold, it brings this camera up. Probably 25. Should be good. And that way, when we enter and leave this sphere, we can make it so that it enables and disables the cameras. What we definitely need to do is... Oh, maybe we can have it rather than... I was going to say, rather than having it enable and disable the cameras, we can have it just change the follow transform for our... this one. But I don't think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to just enable and disable cameras. Cool. Let's go ahead and give our player a tag, shall we? I'm going to call this player pawn. Let's delete this one from the scene because we don't need it there anymore. And then player pawn. So now that that's tagged, let's create, let's go ahead and make our C# script, camera, region, controller. And this is going to be super simple. We're going to have two serialized field, private, game. You know, we can have a Cinemachine, virtual camera. That's not how you spell camera. There we go. And this is going to be base camera, private Cinemachine, virtual camera, player camera. And then on trigger enter, we'll say if other dot tag, compare tag is the better way to do it. Player pawn. Base camera dot enabled equals true. Player camera dot enable. No, we could just have base camera dot enabled equals true. We'll have the base be the highest priority, and then likewise on trigger exit, we'll just say false. Cool, camera activation region. Oh dear, sleepy. We're gonna have our base camera. Are you not a Cinemachine virtual? Oh, that's the rig. Duh. Base camera. Player camera. And then let's go ahead and take our... We're going to take our whole player camera setup here and stick it under an empty, which I am going to call player camera rig. This is going to be the player camera, and this is going to be the player camera follow. I can go ahead and make this a prefab. No, that's materials. Prefabs. There we go. Delete that from the scene. And let's make sure we go ahead on our base camera and set the priority to like 999, just so it's definitely going to be the top priority. And I want to edit my player controller. So now when we spawn the player pawn, we're also going to have a serialized field private camera What did I say it was? Follow transform. Follow transform. Camera. Follow transform. Player camera. Follow. There we go. And then we should probably also have a cache to that. Private follow transform player follow. Yeah, player camera follow. This is going to be camera follow prefab. And then we can do a similar thing here. We'll say player camera follow equals instantiate camera follow prefab, player camera follow dot set follow transform, and this is going to be our player pawn dot transform. Sweet. Player controller. I'm going to update the name of this as well to player controller because it just makes more sense. Let's go ahead and set that camera rig. Oh, the camera rig doesn't have a follow transform on it. That's annoying. Okay, alright. I mean, really, I should make a script called player camera rig, which is literally going to be like, it'll have one thing. It'll have a private serialized field, private follow transform, player transform, camera follow transform, and then we'll have a public void set player follow transform, taking transform, follow transform, and we'll do camera follow transform dot set with our follow transform. And then on awake we can just say camera follow transform equals get component in children follow transform. And then on our player controller, boop, 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 wherever that is, player controller, player controller, player controller, rather than follow transform, we'll have a camera rig. Cool. So then in here, I can go onto my player camera rig, put the player camera rig script on there, wherever it's gone. Where's it gone? Player camera rig, there we go. And then the player pawn or the player controller even can have camera rig in there, like so. And that should have updated it here too. Cool. So if I hit play, it's going to spawn us at 0, 0. Good, good, good. That's all fine. See our camera activation region. If I turn on gizmos, let's go ahead and just run outside of this. Well, that's not doing exactly what I want it to do, is it? Follow transform, player camera follow. That's not right. I've done some code wrong somewhere. Player camera rig. So transform, follow transform. Oh, follow transform equals transform. There we go. Now we should be there. Cool, yeah, we can see the camera is definitely following. As it should. Good stuff. Head outside, and there we go. We're looking at our player again. And we can wander around the place. I really need to make sure that it doesn't change the rotation as it's following, though. That's not what we want. I think if we just set the damping to 0, we should be okay. Let's run back inside our sphere. Yeah, nice. Cool. Let's see if I can't make... but because we're instantiating the rig separate, I'm not going to be able to rotate it very easily. I haven't thought this through. We might have to restart the way that I've designed this. Because what we want to be able to do is have our player input controller bring in our aim input and have that control the rotation of the camera, but that needs to work universally for both cameras. They need to be looking in the same direction. I might have an idea. First of all, let's do a bit of a cleanup in the scripts folder, shall we? Because it's feeling kind of messy at the moment. I'm going to change the interaction system folder to action systems, and that way I can put iActionable in there. And I'm going to make a folder called generic controllers, please. Which I can put stuff like the follow transform, CC velocity controller, camera region controller. They can all go in there. And then let's create a folder for, oh yeah, I've got a folder for resource things. I'm going to rename this to like game resources. And then I can have a resource SOs. We'll have our resource dropper can go in there. Pickup item can go in there. Do I want pickup item to go in there? No, not necessarily. I think I'll put that underneath action systems. And interactables. Cool. Oh dear, I am sleepy. It's been a long day. Sweet. Okay, much better. So the camera controller, I think I'll put under player systems. And we'll have a player cam... You know what? I just thought, yeah. We can have player camera rotation controller. And this is going to be real nice, because what we can do is basically on this we'll have a reference to private list of look at direction controllers, which would be camera rotation controllers, and then I can just keep track of like a private private vector to target direction or look direction. Which can just start out as vector2.forward, so we'll say on start look direction equals vector2.forward, vector3.forward, sorry. So let's make this a vector3. Although I think this is going to take a vector2 anyway, isn't it? From input, and then we can also put a vector3. Fantastic. Good stuff. So, what we should be able to do as well, let's have a serialized field private float, I guess look sensitivity, and we'll have a public void change look direction, which will take in a float, I guess input. And then, can we do like look direction dot rotate, or Google rotate vector about an axis unity? I'm pretty sure it's angle axis. Is that going to take us to the docs? Yes, it is. Creates a rotation which rotates angle degrees about an axis. Sweet. So I guess this look sensitivity is going to be the angle per second to rotate by. That seems to make sense to me. We probably want to have a little bit of smoothing in there, so maybe let's have a private vector3. Oh no, because we get smoothing on the camera controller. That's the rotation controller even. This has all our... Oh no, yeah, there's our smoothing. Fantastic. Nice and easy. Hey, Barnacle's here. You haven't missed much, not gonna lie. I made this little primitives thing for the central base to dump stuff into, and now I'm trying to make cameras work, and it's going slow, but we're getting there. So for changing the look direction, I want to take this float input and I want to say look direction, yeah, equals quarter. Oh no. Var rotation change equals quaternion dot angle axis. The angle is going to be look sensitivity. I need to make sure I do math f dot degrees to radians, because I'm pretty sure it uses No, it does use degrees. Fantastic. Even better. So look sensitivity times time dot delta time. And we're going around vector 3 dot up. And then we want to say look direction. Or can I, there's got to be a, I think it's going to be, oh yeah, transform dot rotation times equals blah 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 blah. Look direction times equals rotation change. Top of vector 3 and quaternion dot Euler angles, and then it can be a plus equals. Nice. And then in update, oh wait, look sensitivity times that times input. There we go. Then in update we'll say for each, what, not for each rotation controller in camera rotation controllers, rotation controller dot set look at vector look direction. That should do it. I've just noticed as well, listening to the music in the background, the Koroks fully sound like Lego bricks in the Lego games. Like, it's uncanny. So on my player controller, how have I done this with the player pawn actually? I've just given it, yeah, I've just added callbacks by passing through the input controller. Let's do a similar thing with our player camera rotation controller. We'll have a private input player input controller input controller. And we'll have a public void set input controller, taking a player input controller, say input controller equals input controller, and input controller dot lowercase input controller dot aim input. Oh, we can poll it. Yeah, cool. Sweet. It is the music from, I think it's Breath of the Wild, for the Korok Forest, and with other bits thrown in there. It's a really good channel, actually. It's a channel called Ollie Ambience, who I've been using, actually, for the past few streams for music, because he's got some, they person has some really nice Zelda music with ambient sounds. And that is exactly the vibe that I want when I'm streaming. Okay, right. So the question now is, where do I want to put this? I think the answer is on my player controller, because actually, yeah, player camera rotation controller. Base rig is going to have a rotation controller. Generic controllers, look at direction controller. We'll set the rotation speed to, like, I don't know, 250 for these ones, so they're pretty responsive. Likewise, let's go ahead and do that for our player camera rig. So the follow is going to have a rotation controller. Whoop, wrong one. Look at direction. Controller. 250. And what I actually want to do is have it assign itself in the script over here. But I'm not quite sure how I want to do that yet. My brain is running at half speed today. It's been, like I say, a very long day. Work has been full of issues and various other bits and pieces going on, and I'm quite tired. Yeah, so we've got direction controllers on my player controller. This is where we're going to be doing the thing. So I'm going to stick this one on here. Look sensitivity, let's have it like 15. So we rotate 15 degrees a second, basically. And then for my player controller, I think actually rather than having the player input controller, I can have this as a serialized field. No. Let's do this initialized in the player controller. So when we spawn our player pawn, let's also get a reference to a private... Actually, I don't even need to have this be... I can have it be down here. Private player camera rotation controller. Camera rotation controller, and then we'll do similar thing here. Player camera rotation controller, or camera rotation controller equals get component player camera rotation controller, blah blah blah. And then over here, when we actually do the thing, let's give ourselves a method. Can I go to the player? Let me go to the rotation controller. We'll add ourselves a method for registering and deregistering a camera. Public void register camera rig, which is going to take in a look at direction controller, new controller. Let's call this camera controller, so it's a bit more specific. And we're simply going to say camera rotation controllers dot add new controller, and then public void deregister camera controller. Similar thing. Look at direction controller, controller to remove. Camera rotation controllers dot remove controller to remove. So then on our player controller, when we're doing our initialization, we can simply go in here and say camera rotation controller dot register camera controller, player camera follow dot get component in children look at direction controller. And we can also say camera controller dot set input controller player input controller. Woo! Okay, I think we finally got there. Everything should be working now. Speaking of music, have I heard the full FNAF intro song? I haven't. Is that the song for the games, yeah? Like the menu music, or someone else? Ooh. Okay, I'm pressing my rotation buttons and nothing's rotating. But that's fine. It's just kind of flickering between negative 90 and 80.9. And then I think we should be seeing the same thing on this. Yes, good. Fantastic. That's exactly what we're looking for. So now I just need to figure out what I'm doing wrong with setting this look at direction. Da, 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 da. Setting this rotation to rotate it around an axis. I want to rotate a vector around I haven't seen the movie yet. I still need to. I want to. I very much want to see the FNAF movie. Because, yeah, I'm a big FNAF fan. I'm not going to lie. I enjoyed the games thoroughly. They came out when I was in high school. Pretty much slap bang of when I was in, like, year 9. That's when I was 13. That's 11 years ago. Lord. Long time. But yeah, I remember like playing them on my phone on the school bus. Yeah, good times, good times. So yeah, definitely want to see the movie, and we'll want to hear that song, because I haven't heard any of the soundtrack or any of how it all fits together. Creates a rotation which rotates angle degrees around the axis. I want to know how I rotate a vector 3 by that angle. Oh, wait. Why was it rotating the X rotation? That's a question. Right, okay, so what we probably want to do is bin off all of this completely, and we can just say like look direction equals quaternion dot Euler angles. Euler rotation? Ooh. Deprecated. Euler angles. Yeah, nice. And then we can do zero. No, because I want to change the forward, don't I? I want to change which way forwards is pointing. I feel like I've made this way more complicated for myself than I need to. I've only got about 25 minutes left as well before I need to dip off. I mean, maybe I just want to do this. Let's cache it. So... Whoopsie daisy. Look direction equals quaternion dot angle axis. And this is, yeah, this is rotate source vector by 30 degrees around the y-axis. So we're going to do look sensitivity times input times time dot delta time around vector 3 dot up, and we're going to multiply it by look. Oh yeah, we can just say it times equals this. Wait, whoa. Mouse just decided to stop working. See, yeah, I can't multiply angle axis by transform dot rotation. I don't want to change transform dot rotation. It's got to be Euler angles, right? Can't multiply vectors. I'm gonna have to do more Googling. Change vector forward. Vector forward by angle. Unity. Yeah, look at that. They're doing angle axis multiplied by vector. That's not something that can happen. Multiplying starting direction by the rotation quaternion, which returns another vector that is rotated version of the first vector. But I can't do that. That's not how that works. But it makes me question why no one else has this issue. Oh, I have no idea. What happened to Sunday stream? It was never guaranteed. It was one of those where I was like, if I have time and I feel up to it, I'll do another stream. But I neither had time nor felt up to it. I had to go. I was in Birmingham on Saturday for the German Christmas markets, and at the same time I was supposed to be picking up something which I needed to make sure I had this weekend because it's for somebody else tomorrow, and they didn't have it in stock in the shop, but I could order it for click and collect to be picked up on Sunday. So it ended up being the case that I was in Birmingham all day on Saturday and then had to go back into Birmingham on Sunday to sort out all that, and then I got back at like 6 in the evening after a long day yesterday. Long day on the Saturday, long day on the Sunday, and then I was just like, yeah, no, I'm chilling. Yeah, I could have sworn there was some method in Vector 3 that made it simple. Rotate towards. Oh. And it's a Vector 3, not transform. Cool. So can I say like look direction dot rotate? See. Oh wait, no, of course it's static. Look direction equals Vector 3 dot rotate towards. There we go. Duh. And we're going to pass in look direction as the first one. The target. What's the target going to be? I don't know what the target's going to be because that's what I want. I want the. I want to figure out the target. I mean, I think I'm massively over-engineering this. I think I can probably just say look direction dot y plus equals input times look sensitivity times time dot delta time. That's probably a much sensibler way to do it. No, it's not, because I need to change the whole vector. Oh my god. I'm gonna be stumped on this for ages, aren't I? Oh god. Yeah. Hold on, let me make my brain work. for a minute. I can't just change the Y because that doesn't rotate the vector. I need to actually rotate the vector. Like if I've got forward, I need to change the value, like I need to decrease the value of X or the value of Z by the same amount that I'm increasing the value of Y, and then normalize it, the value of X even. Oh, this is too much math for my brain to be doing right now. I mean, I wonder if that would work. Vectory.x plus equals input times look sensitivity times time dot delta time. Look direction dot z minus equals that. So actually let's call this bar rotation float, I guess. And then I can do look direction dot normalize. I mean, that feels incredibly jank, but theoretically it should work because we are just doing pretty much exactly what needs to be done. Sort of. Kinda works. But not really. Let me start that again. Let's maybe change the rotation speed to like 5. I'm gonna give it a minute. Dude, no worries, no worries. That's cool that you started learning C# though. That's really awesome. Are you doing it in Unity, or are you looking at Godot, or are you just doing it completely raw? I mean, this is, yeah, I'd love to know, because oh, that was me pressing the button like very quickly. That's so jank. So jank. I think I'm just setting up this camera rig completely not the way that I should be doing it. The aim instead should be like a hard look at, instead of a composer. There we go. That's better. It's still super fast though. And that's because I'm doing it wrong. Planning on using it in Unity, but may try out Godot. Nice, nice. I would, personally, I would absolutely recommend Godot as a good place to start. Not because it's easier to use per se, but because it really forces your hand in terms of how you structure your code. And it forces you to use much better architecture, which if you don't know much about code architecture or good coding principles, which, you know, that's all stuff that I teach, that's like my jam, and the main basis of anything whenever I've got a new student. You know what, yeah, talking point. It's very important to have a good understanding of coding principles. Not for like the quality of a game or anything, but for your own sanity, because, you know, at the end of the day, as a developer, you are writing code for other developers or for yourself in a few months' time, when you have to come back and look at your code and be like, how on earth did I write this? What does it do? And so things like design principles, the solid principles especially, and dry as well, are integral to writing good code, and good code architecture makes a world of difference for that. So whenever I'm teaching, like the person I'm teaching at the moment, and anyone else who I've taught before, I always build the structure of my lessons around, okay, let's make sure we understand this first, because it's completely independent of a specific language. It's object oriented specifically, but it's like you don't need to be doing C# or Java or any of the rest of it. It's all like you just learn the one, or you learn the principles with pseudocode, and that gives you a solid foundation to basically build anything you want to in any engine, any language, and that's the basis that I run off when I'm teaching, because it's so much more important to understand how things are done, or understand the how to structure a thing theoretically, rather than being like, I'm going to learn Unity, because that's what I started with, and it took me way longer to learn like proper code than it should have done realistically. So yeah, that's my little rant on the philosophy of coding. Learn principles, and then you can do whatever you want in any engine you want, and that's half the reason why I could like pick up Godot in a week, not even like 5 hours, because I understand the principles and like how object-oriented programming languages should work and all of the things that they contain. Yes. Yes, I do teach coding. If it's something you're interested in, feel free to send me a message on Discord, because I enjoy it thoroughly. And a large part of it is me making silly errors like what I'm trying to figure out now with just rotating a vector, which feels like it should be so simple, but I just, yeah, my brain is drawing a blank. And it's good fun. It's good fun. Right, back on task, because I have 10 minutes before I need to wrap up, because I'm then going and teaching a lesson. I don't want to rotate. Or maybe I do want to rotate a vector too. This is far too much. Very simple, it says. It's very simple. Here's how you do it, and it gives me some maths that I can't read right now. Rotate a vector around an axis. Yeah, everyone says this. Quaternion dot Euler times vector. Hold on. How much? It depends, is the answer to that question. So for the way that I split up lessons, I either do it on an hourly basis, so you can just book an hour to hour type thing, and that will cost a set amount. If you want to do like 4 lessons in a row and you know you're going to do those, there's a discount on that. And then there's like a larger bundle that I do, which I call the coding semester, which is a lot more in depth, a lot more expensive because of that, but it involves me like creating projects for you, planning lessons ahead of time. It's basically 3 months of like education with homework, tests, all the rest of it. I can't give you a certificate at the end, obviously, because I'm not like a qualified education body in the UK, but it is, like I say, covers all the foundations. I would say, you know, it's nothing that you can't learn by yourself online. That's how I did it, with a little bit of help from university, but realistically it didn't give me much. So if you don't want to be spending the money on it and you're willing to put in the time instead, spend the time to learn it, or like to source out good resources, that's something else. But if it is something that you're more happy to be like, you know what, I can spend some money to get this information quickly, then, you know, like I say, reach out to me on Discord, send me an email, and it's something that we can talk more about the specifics in that case. Yeah, angle axis, but I can't multiply a quaternion by a vector. How do I rotate a vector 45 degrees along the y-axis? So, for example, that would become this. Yes, I can't use transform.rotate around or any other methods as I'm not applying this vector 3 directly to an object. Yes. Yes, good. Good, good, good. And they're saying I can just do this. So if I calculate the angle, this is the angle I want to rotate by, I should then be able to say look direction equals quaternion dot Euler. Probably plus equals actually, won't it? And that's going to be 0. Rotation float 0. Times equals. No, that's still a quaternion. What do you mean? Whoa! Okay, so that works if I do it like that. I just can't do times equals. I have to... You know what? Sure. Sure, sure. Sure, sure, sure. That's fine. I will... That's fine. And just making sure that works. Yeah. Can't believe it. Can't believe it. Good. It's working. It's slow, but it's working. So let's go ahead and fix that, shall we? We'll make that look sensitivity is going to be like 25 degrees a second. And we are going to go in here and we're going to flip the input because at the moment it's rotating inverted. That I didn't want to spend the whole stream doing cameras, but that seems to be where I've ended up. So we can rotate the camera around the base, and then when we leave the base and just look at ourselves, we can rotate the camera around ourselves, but it is still offsetting. God damn. And that's probably because... Oh wait, no, that's a transposer. Hard look at. There we go. And we're back at the base. Oh, fantastic. Okay. Sweet. Let's make the smoothing on our camera rigs a bit less, a bit more even. 25. Similar thing on our player camera rig. I'm also going to bring the angle down for the player camera rig. I want it to be a bit lower. Let's make this 12.5. You're going to be a hard look at. And we are setting the rotation speed to 25. That still feels pretty fast. If I set like 4. Yeah, that's much better. Maybe like 7.5. Yeah, there's a bit of acceleration on there. Bit of acceleration on there. Okay. Let's do 5. And I'm going to up the look sensitivity to maybe like 45 degrees a second so we get a bit speedier. Did I say 5? I think I said 5, didn't I? Yeah, 5. Woof. Okay. Nice. This is going to be so much easier to play with a of like a PlayStation controller rather than keyboard and mouse. And actually, you know what? I want to bring the camera lower still on the player. It just feels like I want to have it down something like that. Maybe like 10 would be fine. Yeah. Yeah, let's do 10. Let's do 10. And then I'm gonna have to wrap up, unfortunately, because, like I say, I've got to go teach a lesson, and I am thirsty, so I need to get myself a drink beforehand. But thank you, everyone who came, for coming and checking out the stream. Yeah, like I said, my brain is not with it today, but it was nice to be doing one anyway. I still want to try and do streams and videos more consistently. But yeah, I need to settle back into a routine of how I'm doing things, and I hope that I don't get super busy at work or anything again. Because yeah, life gets hectic sometimes. But closing notes as always, Thailand's out now on Steam. Go check it out if you haven't already. We have just broken $200 in gross revenue, which is awesome. I never expected it to do that much, but really, really cool, and I really appreciate, obviously, all the support that you guys and everyone else has given the game. And yeah, let me know what you think if you do check it out. I will be back on Thursday. That is when the next stream will be. So until then, thanks very much.